So today is the last day of this feature, and I have to say, I had a lot of fun watching all these animes. Yes, even the bad ones, I at least had some kind of fun to it. And that fun being is that, you know, me recording all this stuff for you. And as you can tell, I'm doing these animes within from year release, where I'd start from the oldest one to the newest one. Making the last anime that I'm taking a look at is going to be the most recent one. And if you read the title, this anime is called The Hentai Prince and the Stoney Cat. Okay. And you're probably thinking, is this a hentai or some shit? Well, no, it isn't. Or at least I wouldn't really say it is. I mean, yeah, it has a lot of sexual themes in it, but I wouldn't say it's like a full-on hentai. So yeah, it has the word hentai in the name, meaning that if you want to look for information on this anime, then you have to at least type in the full name, or else you might get some really weird results. So anyways, without further ado, let's take a look at the story. So it begins with the main character, Yoto, and he is a humongous pervert. In fact, he's such a big pervert that he even puts Tomoki to shame, and that's saying something. So he hears this rumor from a friend of his that if you go up on the hill at night to the stone cat, you can get a wish. But you have to trade something in to do so. So he ends up going up on the hill and he wants to trade in his waifu pillow. But someone else comes up right behind him and her name is Tsukiko. And she goes up on the hill because she wants to be more mature. So they end up doing the wish, but something fucks up happens, where Tsukiko has no emotions now, and Yoto has to speak everything that's on his mind, and well, I have to say that would suck. But in the rumor, it was also been told that whatever wish you do give up, it ends up going up to someone else, so they end up wanting to work together and try to get that wish back. And that's where our story pretty much begins. But there are two other characters I'll mention, and they are Izuha, who is a transfer student who just arrived at school, and she is all alone all the time. But she's always being hit on by a bunch of dudes, so I guess you can't say that she's all alone. But she has no friends that she can depend on, so she has a lot of trust issues with a lot of people, so she has a hard time expressing her honest feelings at times. And finally there's Takushi, who is Tsukiko's older sister, and she's the leader of the track team. And well, the only thing I can really explain about her is that at first she kind of seems like she's going to be like a tough kind of person, but then later on she kind of becomes really weird. I don't know. I really have no idea what they are trying to do with her character. But the easiest way to say it is that at first she seems like a really serious kind of character, but then later on she becomes like not serious. And yet that's not even just with this character, this entire show is like this, where at first there's a lot of parts where it's not meant to be taken seriously, you know, it's all funny and goofy and whatnot. But then there are other parts that just happen like a second later, they're all like, you know, melodramatic. And that's what's really weird about this one, because, you know, like I said, at first it seems like, you know, you can't take it too seriously, but then at times it's like, okay, you kinda have to take this seriously, and with something like this, it just doesn't work very well. So yeah, Yoto has to go through a whole lot of shit on his journey while he has to like go try and get his wish back. And of course, he is still very perverted. Yeah, this story seems kind of a mess. But to be fair, at least this show can be funny sometimes. Now obviously not like so funny that you're gonna like laugh your ass off and fall off a chair and then like go fall down the stairs again. But just a little bit of laughs, just like, heh, that's kind of funny. But then when there's a serious part that happens a second later, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's just weird like that. But to be on a positive note, it is at least more funny than something like Ikitoshin or Heaven's Lost Property. Yeah, there we go, I fucking said it. But even that show also had some small parts here and there that were kinda funny, but like I already said in that review, I just really didn't care for that anime at all. So anyways, let's take a look at the animation. And I think it looks alright. Nothing too much I can complain about, although it is kind of funny that there are some characters that are just made as white. Yeah, they kind of look like white gingerbread men. It's kind of funny. I guess it adds more to the comedy of it. But other than that though, there's really not much I can say. It's not good, but it's not bad either. And as for the voice acting, the show is only in Japanese, so yada yada yada, you know what I'm gonna say, can't judge the quality, blah blah. So let's get moving on. And well, the last thing I have to talk about is the score. And I think I might be a bit generous on this one, but I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. Yeah, as much of a mess of a story this show is, but it does have some parts in it that are at least somewhat memorable because of how stupid and funny they are. But I wouldn't say this is anything like My Bride's a Mermaid, although that show was actually hilarious because of how stupid it was. And as for this, yeah, it's pretty fucking stupid, but not that stupid, but probably almost as stupid. So yeah, I definitely can't recommend this anime to anyone, but to stay on a positive note like I always try to be, it's not the worst thing I ever seen. It's mostly a meh anime, but it does have some funny parts, so therefore I think a 5 out of 10 is good as it is. And that's the end of this review feature, because there's nothing else more I can say about this anime. And yeah, it's very unfortunate that I happened to end this feature on such a meh anime. But shit happens. So anyways, I really hope you enjoyed all these reviews. I know I enjoyed doing them, and hopefully next year I can do even better job at them. Because I know I will make a couple mistakes here and there on this one, because, well, it is the first time I am doing a review on something other than video games. And even then, I still make mistakes on the video game ones anyway. So if you managed to watch all 30 of my reviews that I did this year on anime, well, I really hope you enjoyed them. Thanks for watching and commenting.